Hello guys, welcome to this 9th tutorial on ASP.NET. So today we'll be learning transferring methods. So let me first explain what an transferring method actually is. This transferring method is used in ASP.NET to store and pass value from one page to another. Along with that, we can also move from one page to another using this transferring methods. There are various types of transferring methods which we will be using. Those are response.redirect, HTTP cookies, session, application, and HTTP context. So I'll be explaining these types along with the program. So now the first type is response.redirect. Response.redirect helps us to move from one page to another. So you can see that I already have added one form, that is web form 1. So to move from one page to another, we require another web form as well. So I'll be adding one more web form. So I'll go to add new item. Inside web, we'll find web form. So I won't change the name. I'll be using the same name and I'll click on add. So here you can see my second form has been added. So with the help of response.redirect, I'll move from web form 1 to web form 2. So I'll add one label in which I'll write this is my first page, and I'll put one button. With the help of button, I'll move from one page to another. So the text for button, I'll write navigate, and inside this page, that is second form, I'll print one message that this is my second form. So that we can know that we are actually moving from first page to second. Now inside this, I'll write the code for. So the code is response.redirect and the form name. So my form name is webform2.aspx. So when I'll click on the button, it will redirect me to webform2.aspx. that is my second page. So let's check. So when I click on this navigate button, you can see I am moving to the next form, that is webform2.aspx. So this is a program for response.redirect. Now the second type is HTTP cookie. HTTP cookie, or we call it as cookie also, it is a small bit of text, or you can say information, which is stored whenever we visit one particular site. So whenever we visit some site, this information, that is small bit of information, is actually stored inside a cookie. So cookie is used for storing small bit of information. Now here in our program, we'll be doing the same. We'll be storing some information, let's say some name, in a cookie, and we will send that information from one page to another. So here I'll design. So I'll add one label and one text box. So I'll name this text box as name itself. So the name I'll enter in this text box, and that value will get passed to the second form. So that we are going to do with the help of cookie. So the first thing I'll do is I'll create one object for HTTP cookie. Let's say cname equal to new HTTP cookie, and I'll create one value. Now this I'll explain after some time why we have created this value. So here our object name is created. Now inside this object name I will connect with my text box, so that whatever value I enter, that will get stored in this object, that is CNAME. Now the third thing what I'll do is I will use response.cookies and add this CNAME, that is my object in this response.cookies. Now this response.cookies is linked with this value which I have given, that is name. Now this name will be storing whatever value we enter in the text box, and this name will be used to pass the value from one page to another. And in second page what I'll do, I will retrieve that value. So I am retrieving the value. So if request.cookies where I have stored the value in name is not null, that means if it consists some value, then I will print it in my label. So I already have one label, so I will print it. So my value is name dot value. So that's how I am storing the value in this name, and I am retrieving it with the help of name itself. First I am checking if that name value which I have created consists of something or not. If it consists of something, then it will print. So let's run the program and check if cookie is able to store some value and pass it to the other page or not. So I am using this name Nitin and I am clicking on navigate. Now you can see name is being retrieved in the second page. So this is a simple example of cookie program. Now the third method which we will be using is session variable. So this session is used to store some value as well, but this session has some, you can say we can store much more information in this session, and this session are available across all the pages. Let's say we have several pages, like 10 pages. Now the session variable can pass those values what we have stored to various pages. So for that purpose we use this session. And next you can say benefit is that it has some security aspect as well, that let's say for example if we have logged in into a system, so we'll remain in that system for that particular default time of session, which is of 20 minutes. After 20 minutes we'll automatically get logged out. So that features the session provide. We can configure that timing for session. So let's do one simple program for session. So here I'll be doing the same program, that is passing the name to other page using session. So I'll remove this HTTP cookie and I'll use session to store the value. So I'll create the value name as name itself, and I'll assign it with my text box, that is textbox1.text, and I'll simply send the page, that is redirect the page. Now here I have to retrieve it, so I will change it to session in place of cookie. So it's checking, and I'll change this as well. So this is the same thing what we did. Now in place of value I'll use to string, just to convert. So my program is ready. Now the same thing we are doing. If this value, that is name, consists of something, then it will print the result. So I will be sending this name. So you can see session has stored the value and send the particular name. Now next is application variable. Now this application variable, you can say, is same like session, but the benefit is that it stores our value in the server side. Now the disadvantage in session is that if we close the browser, all our values, whatever we have stored, will get lost. But in application it does not get lost, just because we are storing all the values in server. So we'll be doing one simple program. So in place of application, I'll be using, in place of session, I'll be using application, and here also I'll change from session to application. So the program is quite same only, the work is also same only, just we have changed the name. So it will also store the information and send the value to next page. So let's say I am sending this name. So you can see application has stored the value and send the name. Now the last type of transferring method is HTTP context. Now this HTTP context can be used to retrieve value from various pages, and it works in pages. Like let's say in webform 1 we can simply print the value. Now the main thing here in HTTP context is properties or methods. We create properties and methods to give the values. So this is the thing which we use in HTTP context. Why we are using method is because I feel coding and modifying the values or whatever code we do, it's quite easier if we use properties as compared to other things. So that is why I feel this HTTP context is much more you can say improved one than other things, other methods. So here I'll be using HTTP method to do the program. So I'll be creating my own method. That is the first thing what I'll do. So I'll create one string value, so that is get name. So I'll use like this. So the name can be anything, property name can be anything. Now inside this I'll use getter method, where I will retrieve the value for this get. So here I'll return whatever is entered in text box 1.text. So that's what I did in this property or method which I have created, that is get name, in which I am returning the value or getting the value entered in text box 1. Now here in button I'll use server.transfer. Now I'll explain what this server.transfer is and why we are using server.transfer in place of response.redirect. So here I have used server.transfer to move from one page to another. Now in the second page I have to retrieve the value, so I will do the coding for that. So in page load itself I'll be doing the coding. So here I will call webform1 and create an object for it. Now I'll use this object what I have created along with webform1 and use something known as context handler. Context dot handler. Now this context dot handler will help us to retrieve the value which we have created or stored in webform1, that method. Now the last thing I'll do is I'll print the value in label1 and I'll simply call the method name, that is get name. So that's it. Now let's check if we are able to retrieve our value or not. Then I'll explain the thing, that is server.transfer, why we are using out here. So okay, it gave me some error. Okay, I haven't mentioned the web form name properly, that is why it gave me an error. So I have to mention web form 2. Okay, now I guess it will run. So we have to be careful with the web form name. So I'm entering this name and here I am retrieving it. Now why we have used server.transfer is because the method which I have created is in web form 1. Now when we use this HTTP context, when we create this property, we can retrieve the value in that same URL only. For that purpose I am using server.transfer. Now when I'm sending this value, now here you can see that my URL address is not changing. That means I am still at web form 1 only, where my method was created, and whatever I was trying to give inside that text box, I am returning it because I am in same page. That is, URL is not changed. That is why I am able to retrieve it. So that is why I have used server.transfer. The main difference between server.transfer and response.redirect is that response.redirect URL will change, but if we use server.transfer, our URL won't change. So that is the purpose, or that is why I have used that server.transfer. So with this, our transferring method programs are complete. So I hope you guys understood all of the techniques which we have used in transferring methods. If you have any doubts regarding any of the topic, you can simply write in comment section or you can text me. Thank you for watching.